Swan Lake Iris Gardens, we specialize in swans and Irish. Our Irish, Japanese Irish, is one of our signatures that we have. From what I heard, and I was here going on 20 years, they got some seeds from Japan and they threw them in the water and in the beds. And because of our acidic soil and the muck and mud, that the Irish just thrive here, and they love the conditions of the mud, the water, the acid, and they love it. And it just is a real conducive place for Irish to grow in. Mainly we keep compost in to try to keep the weeds down as much as we can, because we don't want the weeds fighting competition for the Irish to mess up the blooms or choking them out. So that's why we have to get in here on a constant basis and keep it weeded and keep it neat. So it's a steady job, constant job, back breaking. There's no herbicide or weed killer that we can spray in it. So we have to actually get out here on our hands and knees and pull weeds out the bed. It's back breaking, but during May, the benefits of the blooms, and it's just beautiful. And we have people come from all around just to see the Irish bloom in probably like the second week of May to the end of May. They really will be in full bloom. Perfect conditions.
We go out, and whenever we start seeing them kind of like displaying that mating behavior, we'll watch the islands. And once we start seeing nesting activity and see them starting to sit, we'll come out here to check the nests, and that helps us forecast out how many swans we're going to anticipate, what date we think they'll be coming in. That way we can have the swan house and the facilities ready to receive them. Once all of the babies are hatched, we call it launching. The parents will launch the babies and take them to the feeder. Once we see the babies go to the feeder for the second time, so the second day at the feeder, that's when we'll pick them up and bring them into the house to raise them in the swan house. We have a lot higher rate of survival when we raise them in our facility versus on the lake, mainly due to the other wildlife. We have about a 95% success rate in the swan house, where out on the lake it's closer to about 50%.
There's so many predators. There's one baby bird that we even rescued from a crow. The food chain goes that low. When they first come in, I'll put them in this brooder. I put them in there for 2 or 3 days so they get used to the sights, the sounds and the smells and everything, and get a little more comfortable, because they're very nervous when they first come in. There's my bird bus or my swan shuttle. I can't decide what to call it. And I bring them in and I'll put them in one of these shallow that's got water in the middle, so they can splash around, but they can't get over their head if they get saturated wet. And they do when they're little. That down is not waterproof at all. And the big key with the babies is cleanliness. When they're fully mature, then we take them down to the feeder and release them.